Hey, what's going on? This is Madam, and I am back with you guys again. This time the article is from NBCnews.com, and I am talking about 8 Louisiana officers that have been indicted for alleged beating of 2 men for a seatbelt violation. Wow. 2 men held up their arms and surrendered but were beaten by officers, the district attorney said. One of the men suffered a fractured eye socket and the other one a broken nose. The article starts off by saying that police officers in Louisiana were indicted on charges of excessive force for allegedly beating 2 men who raised their arms and surrendered when pulled over for a seatbelt violation. Caddo Parish District Attorney James Stewart announced on Tuesday that each of the officers in Shreveport has been charged with 1 count of malfeasance in office in connection to the arrest in January. The January 24th incident began when an officer attempted to pull over driver Chico Bell and his passenger Damian Robinson for a seatbelt violation as 2 men were leaving a private home. The men didn't stop the vehicle and a pursuit began, with video from a police car showing that Bell threw several unknown objects from the window of his Chevrolet truck during the chase, the district attorney wrote in the press release. And these are the officers right here that are in question or alleged to have committed the crimes. From left to top row, police officers Aaron Judon, DeAndre Jackson, Mike Ordoring, I apologize if I butcher these people's names, William I, and bottom row police officers Christopher McConnell, Brandon Walker, and T. Brooks, and David Francis. Dash cam footage from a sheriff's deputy's vehicle shows what happened when the 2 men stopped their cars, the district attorney said. Bell and Robinson raised their hands and then stuck both hands out of the window of the truck in an apparent attempt to surrender without resistance, the release said. But Shreveport officers pulled Bell from the truck through the window, according to the prosecutor, and began striking, kicking, and tasing him. Medical records show he suffered from injuries including a broken orbital plate, the release said, which is basically in the eye. Robinson was meanwhile punched multiple times through the truck window by a Shreveport officer as his hands were being held by the other officers, the district attorney said. Wow. SPD officers then took Robinson to the ground, where one officer apparently struck him in the face with a flashlight. Despite Robinson's hands being behind his back, the release said Robinson's nose was broken in several places from the attack. A sheriff's deputy at the scene said the violence occurred even though Robinson was compliant during the arrest, which police body cam and dash cam footage verified, the district attorney said. The indicted officers are the names that I read off earlier. Christopher McConnell was fired on May 8th. Mark O. resigned June 17th, and the other 6 officers were placed on leave. Angie Wilhite, a public information officer with the Shreveport PD, told NBC News in an email on Wednesday. The city's police chief, Ben Raymond, said in a statement to NBC News that he launched an investigation on the day of the arrest. All parties are innocent until proven guilty in the order to preserve the officer's right to due process. I will not make any further comments at this time, the police chief said. In response to the charges, the Shreveport mayor, Adrian Perkins, told NBC affiliate KTAL that he is working towards police reform. The nation is going through a reckoning because in the past officers were too infrequently held accountable for bad policing, Perkins said in a statement. While it isn't pretty, this isn't the change citizens are demanding. Stewart said police recovered very small amounts of ecstasy and cocaine and a stolen gun that were thrown from the window of the car during the chase. Bell was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, obstruction of justice, cyber stalking, and a fugitive matter. In Robinson for resisting an officer, the district attorney dismissed all charges against the two men because of the alleged excessive force use. An attorney representing 3 of the 8 officers, Brooks, Jackson, and Isnor, I apologize if I butchered that, said believes his clients will be exonerated in court. We're very disappointed in the indictment. These officers were doing their job that day, lawyer D.H. Thompson said. According to KTAL, it appears from the earlier evidence. Of course, we're still gathering facts and investigating it. But these individuals chose to run from the police, endanger themselves, the officers, and society. Let me just interject really quick. If they ran from the officers. People could say that it was because, among people of color, it is the systemic fear that, people are being pulled over for anything. But just in this case, they found drugs, which could also be, I don't know. It depends on what the video has shown. I haven't seen the video, so I'm not going to sit there and speculate. But even if they were caught with anything, the mere fact that they did not take these men down in the appropriate manner, which was remove them from the vehicle and place them on the ground, have them lay on the ground, secure them, check them, all that went out the window when they started beating on these men. But individuals chose to run, endangering themselves, the officers, and society. It was not immediately clear who is representing the other officers. And this is the gentleman that had did this article. Please go check it out. I will definitely put his name in the description, as I always do. But for the most part, I'm just like, bro, look at these men. Look at these men. Apparently they're upset. Some of them are upset about what's going on with the protesting and defunding the police and things of that nature. And I just feel, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, that they took the opportunity while they were arresting these men and doing their lawful right to be able to arrest these men for charges, to take their frustrations out on these men. It took 8 cops to beat up 2 men. It took 8 cops to arrest 2 men. How does that make sense? Okay? Even if they are doing something illegal, and I'm not saying that they wasn't doing nothing illegal. I'm not saying that they're victims in the sense of, they were not following the law and they were doing something illegal. Like I said, I can't speculate on something that I didn't see. To my knowledge, the dash cam and body cam A video is not out there to my knowledge, so I can't speculate on that. But what I can say is that even if they were doing something wrong, even if they were being detained because they possessed a small amount of ecstasy and cocaine and a firearm, that does not give you the right to beat one of them until fracture their eye socket or break their nose in several pieces. Even when allegedly, from what the state's attorney said, they were not resisting. They were not resisting. They were not making any plans to do anything that would hurt them that way. So, and all of the and the thing about it is it's so crazy because they stopped them and they found small amount of ecstasy and cocaine on these gentlemen, and they threw it out because y'all whooped their ass. So basically they were tried and convicted right there on the spot. That's stupid. If you really want them to serve justice, and if you really want them to be held for their actions, and you really want them to be held accountable for possessing these illegal things that is against the law, these 8 men became the judge and jury right then and there. They said, forget the lawyers, forget the judge, forget the justice system. We're going to independently act and give our own brand of justice, which is not right. So, as any other story that I've done, if I hear something, I will keep you updated. Please drop down in the comments. Please let me know what you think about this. Please let me know, your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until then, you guys, I will talk to you later.